These are pretty good. In fact, these are very good. Like I said, I love peanut butter. You can taste the hint of chocolate. Definitely can taste the banana. Definitely taste the peanut butter. They're moist. I would probably back off and just go maybe 2 or 3 ripe bananas. Hey everyone, hi, I'm Amy Roloff, and I'm in my little kitchen. And today I go and babysit Ember and Bodie again, so I'm pretty excited about that. And so I thought, oh, look at these bananas. They were pretty far gone, but I think they're still good enough to make muffins. And so what I wanted to do was make like a peanut butter banana muffin with a peanut streusel on top. Let's see how that goes. So you guys are gonna kind of go along this little journey with me here. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to add chocolate, cut up chocolate, like chocolate chips. I took a chocolate bar and I'm gonna be cutting these up. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that and incorporate that in the muffin too. And obviously, definitely peanut butter in here. But the one thing I've noticed about making peanut butter muffins and stuff like that, I mean, you might get that hint of peanut butter, but it doesn't taste like a peanut butter cookie would. And I tell you, I love peanut butter cookies. In fact, I love peanut butter, period. And so whenever I think of the combination of peanut butter and bananas, I always think of Elvis, because I think that was one of his favorite sandwiches, I think, was banana and peanut butter. I think. I'm gonna have to look that up, but that's what I thought. Anyway, got my little directions here that I wrote up my thing. Put little notes on there because kind of shaking it up. So what are we doing here? I've got 2 cups. Instead of all-purpose flour, I'm gonna try and use white wheat flour. We'll see how that goes. So we're gonna do 2 cups of wheat flour. Depending on how big your bananas are, or if you had to cut off some of the more ripe part of the banana. I do have 4 bananas in here, but 3 would probably be enough, but I do have 4 because I did cut off, you know, some pieces just because I didn't like it. Anyway, so there might be like 3.5 here. I have about, I think, a 1/2 cup of buttermilk here. Let me see. No, more than that. About 2/3 cup of buttermilk here. And then I have about 6 tablespoons of melted butter. Then I have just about 1/3 cup of oil. And I've used canola oil. I haven't done a lot of baking with olive oil, so you may be able to substitute a very good baking olive oil in replace of canola oil. Then I have 2 eggs, a little bit of vanilla, of course, baking powder, baking soda, a little bit of salt, and then we'll get going on our streusel after we get all of this together. The one thing I did not do though was, number 1, put on an apron. Number 2, that's my oven, tells me it's ready. Number 2, I didn't get out my muffin tin, so let me go get an apron on. I'll get my muffin tins, and I think we can get ready to go. So we're making peanut butter banana muffins with a peanut streusel on top. Okay, I think we're getting ready to go. One thing I like, if I'm gonna use, you know, paper cups for muffins or cupcakes or whatever, sometimes you can't really see the decorative paper, you know, paper muffin things, but I always like to get fun paper cupcake liners or muffin liners or whatever you want to call them. I don't know, just because it's fun, and I just think it adds something to whatever you're making. And because I'm making these for Jeremy and Audrey and family, Ember and Bodie, I just thought maybe Ember might get a little kick out of having a little decorative paper muffin thing. I think the thing I've learned why I'm just learning this now is beyond me. But that's the thing I love about cooking, because, you know, a lot of you may have made banana muffins before, but sometimes when you're looking at everyone and their recipes and stuff, you can find things that you may want to tweak yours. And I just think that's really fun to just experiment, try different things, or figure out a different technique. You know, that's pretty much why I love baking and cooking. So I'm just gonna line these. I'm not gonna spray them yet, but that's the thing that I was gonna tell you that I kind of found out. If you just lightly spray even your muffin things, your paper muffin liners, I think it will help prevent the muffin or the cupcake from sticking to it. Because I never did that before, and I was always so bummed when you peel the paper thing off of your cupcake or muffin. It's like, okay, why did a little bit of the cupcake stick to the paper liner? So anyway, and especially if I'm making these for someone, they're just more easily transportation wise. But also, you can wrap them up, store them a little better, especially when you're giving them to other people. So anyway, I'm just gonna line 12. I'll spray it with a, nonstick cooking spray or whatever, but I'll do that when I'm ready for that. Okay, let me get my big bowl here. I am going to use a hand mixer to mix up, the melted butter, the oil, and stuff like that. I was going to use the whisk, just a hand whisk, but I think because I have peanut butter in here, I think a hand mixer, I'm using a hand mixer, will help incorporate and really make sure all your wet and liquid stuff is mixed well before you add the dry ingredients. And then when you add the dry ingredients, then you fold in the dry ingredients. That way you won't overmix the batter and your muffins may not rise or become too tough or who knows what. So anyway, I'm gonna get one of my spatulas here. Better get my glasses and pen out of the way. So the thing we're gonna do first is that, let me get a fork. We're gonna mix all our dry ingredients. So I have 2 cups of the whole wheat flour or white wheat flour, the baking soda. Baking soda was about a little less than a teaspoon, and baking powder was about a half a teaspoon, I think. Tell you the truth, now I can't remember. What did I do here? Yeah, baking powder was just a little more than a half a teaspoon, and baking soda a little less than a teaspoon. Let's get some salt in here. And if you're using salted butter, don't add as much salt into your flour mixture, because obviously the butter will have its own salt in there. So I don't know, that might be like a half a teaspoon. So we're gonna mix that in there. I think I got everything. Okay, put that over there. Now we're gonna add everything in here, and we're just gonna mix it all up. Melted butter. Oh, that's why I use this thing, so I can really scrape out these bowls. Make sure you get everything. I've got the oil in here. And sometimes when you watch these videos, I always forget to reiterate, how much like how much oil this was and everything. So definitely go to the recipe that's included in the video, because the recipe will probably always be much more right than my video. So this is buttermilk. I like to get that little tang since we got the sweetness of the bananas. Move that out of the way. A little bit of vanilla. Got the butter in here. Whoops. I think I did a little more. I'm just going to use this fork that I had. Just going to mash these. Oh, these are definitely right. Oh, such banana flavor. I'm excited to try this little streusel on top. I'm hoping that'll be kind of fun. Okay. So I would probably do about three bananas ripe. I have just over 3, maybe about 3.5. And I'm sure that's going to be just fine as well. Then let's get in the peanut butter. Oh, I tell you guys, I love peanut butter. Always have as a kid, anytime. The one thing I thought was really fun was I took a sack lunch to school, you know, when I was in probably grade school. I don't ever really remember having a lunch pail often. We just had a brown paper bag, especially in junior high and high school. And so I was so excited because after a while I made my own lunch, but when my mom made our lunches for us for school and everything, I got so excited when it was Friday because we would get our sandwich, you know, cheese, a little meat or whatever that was, or maybe a leftover from the previous night or something like that that didn't have to be heated up. But on Fridays, we always had our choice, or we'd always get a half of a peanut butter and jam sandwich. I just thought that was like so awesome. I always look forward to Friday getting that peanut butter and jam sandwich. I'm just gonna mix this in a little bit with my hand mixer before I add in the eggs. Okay, I think that's enough. And I have creamy peanut butter. Now, if you don't want to do the peanut streusel that I'm going to do with these muffins, that's quite all right. But I think it'd be kind of cool if you like crunchy peanut butter, which I like both. I think crunchy peanut butter would do well in here too. But I only had creamy, so maybe that's what made me come up with like a peanut strudel. Oh my goodness. So we're going to add in 2 eggs. Kind of room temperature for all of this stuff, because that way everything gets more incorporated and your butter doesn't begin to get in little chunks because of the cold egg. Because we added melted butter in this. So I'm just gonna ramp this up a little bit. Just really want to make sure it's all incorporated, especially the peanut butter. Yeah, I think that's done. Get some of the stuff off of my beaters here, because I do not like to leave anything behind. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and chop up my chocolate bar here and just mix it in with the flour so that when I begin to fold it in here, I'm not over mixing it. It's coming in there all together. Oh, these are, you know, there's this one chocolate bar that I usually use. Oh, by the way, okay, I'm using my favorite brands. I have several favorite brands, but sometimes I can't always get one over the other. So I'm using Bob's Red Mill, and they're local here in Oregon. So I'm using that wheat flour, Bob's Red Mill, and my Tillamook butter, because again, it is local business. And I'm not sure if y'all can find that where you guys are. But I'm a big fan that if you got a company in your area and you like their product, buy local. Because there's a lot of national brands out there too that are good. And when you live in a smaller area, you may not always get a local brand, but a national one. But anyway, I'm just kind of letting you know what I like. But I'm kind of excited that I'm getting to watch Ember and Bodie each week as Jeremy and Audrey go on a date night. In fact, I might have to come up with a date night for Chris and I. We often go out and do things together too, or hear a local band that we really like and stuff like that. So I always think of that as a date, kind of a date. And you don't always have to make it a big thing, but it's just kind of fun. Okay, I think I've got them small enough without them being too large. Hopefully. Okay. We're gonna put all of these chocolate in here. There we go. And that way the chocolate pieces will be coated in the flour, and I'm hoping that they will be evenly distributed. So we're just gonna pour the flour in here. I'm just gonna try and fold it, just so it's almost fully incorporated. One thing I like about making muffins this way is because you can dig deep down. Sometimes with a mixer, there's that little bottom part that's all floury or didn't quite get incorporated with the wet ingredients. And this way, using a spatula like this, okay, I think we're done. You can make sure all of it is mixed in. Okay, there we go. Okay, my batter's all ready to go in my muffin tin. I just spray painted the muffin paper liners. Thought they were really cute. And the one thing I wanted to do here was just chop up these peanuts. Not into big chunks. Just enough to kind of make a little crunch on that for that strudel. I love this little mini food processor. Let's see here. Yeah, there's definitely a few big chunks in here. Okay, I think that's enough. Okay, just a tad more. One thing about doing this is that some of them get chopped up a lot, and then you still are left with those big chunks. But even if you do it a little bit fine, I think that'll be okay. Peanuts. Okay, I got my half a cup of flour here. I have my sugar, brown sugar and flour. I think, what was it? About a cup or 3/4, half a cup of flour. I'm gonna add in just a pinch of salt here. I gotta fill up my little thing here. Oops, I shouldn't have added salt since we're gonna do the peanuts, but then I'm just gonna do a couple of dashes of cinnamon. Mix that all up in here. Break up the brown sugar, the bigger chunks in it. Make sure it's all okay. Then we're gonna add in our chopped nuts. Got some bigger ones in there, but that'll be okay. I didn't want peanut powder in here. Just mix that all up in here. And I have about 4 tablespoons of melted butter. Let's see if that's enough to kind of We're just gonna kind of mix this all together. And it wasn't fully melted, it was definitely soft butter. Well, some of it was melted, but I would prefer 4 tablespoons of soft butter. And you want to mash it up so all of the dry ingredients get some of that luscious butter flavor around it. This will just take a few minutes. I'm really hoping Ember and Bodhi will like these. Because they have to like what Mimi likes. Peanut butter. Oh, and by the way, Chris does not like peanut butter. So that's why I'm probably going to give almost all of these muffins away. But I had fun making them. Then I get to try one with you guys. Okay, I think that's about it. I think this will make more than 12 of the muffins, but we'll get the other ones ready in a second here. If you don't have an ice cream scooper or don't want to use it, usually what I do is use a tablespoon with a teaspoon to help me with that. Okay. That's, you know, don't fill them any more than 3/4. They might crown at the top, which is kind of nice. But if you fill them any more than that, it's a bummer when they overflow. So we're just gonna fill these up. About 3/4, halfway, 3/4. Whoops. And sometimes I go overboard. So I forgot to tell you, I have my oven preheated to 425 because you kind of want to give it that blast of heat to kind of set everything in. And then turn it back down to, depending on your oven, 350, 375 for about another 15, maybe 20 minutes. But you're gonna cook these for about 5 minutes on that high heat. There we go. Okay, I'm definitely gonna need another muffin tin. So let me finish these up before I put the strudel on, and I'll be right back. Just to show you. And that's what my batter looks like. Maybe you can see the little chunks of chocolate in there, and then these are the muffins. And then that's my strudel over there. Okay, I've got my muffins all ready, and we're gonna put a little strudel on them. So just a little bit. Usually what I do is just press it down a little bit, so it's just not this little topping that separates from the muffin. Tell you the truth, I think it's kind of nice that there's a couple of big chunks of peanuts here. So I have about a teaspoon that I'm putting on there. Okay, that one's done. I'm gonna bring you over just so that I guess you guys can see. There we go. Then I'll bring this over here. There we go. Okay. I just put a little bit on and kind of press it down. Looks like I might have a lot of strudel left over. And like I said, you don't need to put the strudel on top of these muffins. I just thought it'd be kind of cool. I have a feeling these muffins are going to get a little bit more of the peanut, because the peanut sunk all the way to the bottom, or a lot of them did. Just going to add a couple more peanuts over here, just in case something didn't get on there. You still have a few peanuts on each of them. Yeah, because I think these have enough peanuts. Okay, I think that's about it on the streusel. So like I said, preheated oven, 425. Cook them, bake them for about 5 minutes. Then turn your oven down to about 350, 375, whatever preference your oven is best at. And then cook them for another 15 to 20 minutes until they're done. So I just got the strudel all on there. Hopefully these will turn out. We're gonna stick them in the oven. Ugh. I know you guys are probably wondering why I don't use the lower oven, because my upper oven has convection bake. And so I think there's more heat that goes all the way around everything. So that's why you sometimes use the upper. So we're gonna cook these about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna turn it down. And we'll cook them for another 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending. So I'll be back here and see how they turned out. Okay, wow, I got the muffins out of the oven, and don't they look great? Well, they look great. Let's see if they even taste great. Okay, I'm gonna take this one. Let's see how these paper things come off. Oh my goodness, you guys. Yes, spray them a little bit, just a little bit, not too much, because you don't want them too greasy. Okay. These are pretty good. In fact, these are very good. Like I said, I love peanut butter. You can taste the hint of chocolate. Definitely can taste the banana. Definitely taste the peanut butter. They're moist. I would probably back off and just go maybe 2 or 3 ripe bananas. I love the streusel topping on top as well. Anyway, these are peanut butter banana muffins with a peanut streusel. I love them. They taste great. Go to Amy Roloff's Little Kitchen or my YouTube channel. You can find this recipe and all of the other recipes that I've done so far over there, and I would love it if you subscribe. But for this recipe, I'll tweak it just a little bit, so definitely follow the recipe. So anyway, I'm liking it. I'm gonna keep eating this. So thank you for being in my little kitchen. So from mine to yours, keep gathering. Enjoy.